spacesuits and dinosaurs? Always online, multiplayer only? Well, that's gonna be garbage. These were my initial thoughts when seeing the announcement trailers for Exoprimal, the squad-based PvEvP multiplayer shooter from Capcom. Exoprimal looked like a live service cash grab that seemingly smashed together pieces of some random failed projects that never met the light of day. Then I noticed it was coming to Xbox and PC Game Pass and decided that it would be idiotic not to at least try the game out, if for nothing other than a "look how terrible this game is" video. This is not that video, because Exoprimal is actually good? Thanks for stopping by, Grade A Gamers. In this Exoprimal video, we're going to briefly cover my likes, my gripes, and the types of people I think will enjoy Capcom's new multiplayer dinosaur hunting game. Let's start with the likes. First, the graphics in Exoprimal are impressive, more so in motion, with sharp, crisp edges and a surprisingly smooth 60 frames per second and a downright insane amount of action on screen. Exoprimal is quite impressive for a multiplayer-only game. Granted, I've only experienced Exoprimal on the Xbox Series X and a high-end PC, but knowing the flexibility of the RE engine, I assume that those playing Exoprimal on last-gen hardware would have a relatively good experience as well. Exoprimal's story was another area of surprise. While extremely far-fetched, it is a sci-fi game, I find myself captivated by not only the story, but how it's dished out to you between and sometimes during your multiplayer sessions. To me, it just feels like one of the better implementations of storytelling in this kind of game. The controls in Exoprimal are simplistic and responsive. Well, as responsive as they feel that they should be for the suit you're wearing. While the simple controls and ability pools seem limiting at first, the ability to change exosuits seamlessly during a mission allows the player to have a vast array of ways to adapt to a mission or to the play of their match-made teammates. Other notable things that I feel deserve some appreciation in Exoprimal are the matchmaking and match lengths. In the 20 missions I've run in Exoprimal, I've never had to wait longer than 1 minute to find a match. The match itself runs between 10 to 15 minutes, and that time zooms by. Exoprimal doesn't seem to be a game that is overly demanding on your time. In this way, it feels more akin to a modern arcade game instead of a multiplayer action game. Lastly, the balance of player versus environment is done just right. Between individual missions during each run, you can see, but not interact with, the other team as you race to the next objective. During the final objective, if PvP is turned on in your options, you will enter a mode that pits you against both dinosaurs and other human-controlled exosuit pilots. To me, this level of PvP is fun and adds a very entertaining element to the game. But don't worry, as long as you stay objective-focused, you can still help your team win, even if you're terrible when it comes to the pressures of squaring off against another real-life human being. Lastly, and most importantly, what's not to love about this game being released day one on PC and Xbox Game Pass? Exoprimal is a prime example of a third-party game finding an audience due to Microsoft's game subscription service. I literally had zero desire to play this game, especially at the price point, but more on that later. Thanks to Game Pass, I played Exoprimal, loved Exoprimal, and I decided to buy the Survival Pass for Exoprimal. Now, on to the gripes! My primary gripe with Exoprimal at this point is the lack of explanation. There were a couple of times where the mission objective wasn't made fully obvious in the brief moments heading into the objective start. Additionally, there are rewards that you can earn for your account, most of which focus on you earning a certain number of in-match medals. It would be nice to have a menu tab that would define both the match objectives and the medals you can earn along the way. Other gripes? The mission variation in Exoprimal seems to come as you progress the story by playing the same multiplayer map over and over. Things do evolve, but this isn't made clear. Some indication that things will change as you continue to progress would be helpful. Lastly, the monetization. If I had paid $59.99 for this game, I'd be a little pissed off that I didn't get access to all the exosuits. Yes, you can earn them by leveling up your pilot, but Capcom really wants you to buy that $15 character unlock pack. This is scummy. It's scummy. On the flip side, It appears that if you see a skin you want, you can buy that skin directly from your platform's marketplace. There doesn't seem to be any intermediary currency. If you want a thing, you buy that thing. Looking at the monetization for this game, Exoprimal is a game that should be, if not free to play, available on all game subscription services. My prediction is that it won't be long until the PlayStation owners get their chance at a free taste of this dino-killing goodness. Well, we've covered the likes, we've talked about the gripes, and now we arrive at the types. The types of gamers who I feel would enjoy Exoprimal. If you're tired of being in a shitty mood all the time due to the skill-based, engagement-optimized matchmaking of Call of Duty and Apex Legends, but still crave competitive, action-packed gameplay, Exoprimal might be right for you. If you're looking for a game that lets you have fun and exciting gameplay sessions that don't require hours of your time and a progression system that feels fair and rewarding, Exoprimal might be right for you. Lastly, if you're looking for a fun game that you can play with friends, or maybe even make a few new ones, Exoprimal might be right for you. As a Game Pass subscriber, whether on Xbox or PC, Exoprimal offers a unique twist on the multiplayer genre that feels refreshing and provides additional value to an already great Game Pass subscription service. For those on PlayStation or who don't have access to a capable gaming PC, it is unfortunate that Capcom decided to place the $60 US price tag on a game that doesn't quite justify that price point. I predict that Exoprimal will soon find its way onto PlayStation Plus. It just makes too much sense. If you're on Xbox or PC, I'd recommend trying a month of Game Pass just to check this one out. To me, it would be worth the $10. 20 plus missions in, and I highly recommend Exoprimal for all Game Pass owners. For those not on Game Pass, I suggest you hold off a little while to see if Capcom's newest game makes its way onto the Sony game subscription service. Stay tuned for a full review of Exoprimal coming to Grade A Gamers as soon as I finish the main storyline. Have you played Exoprimal? Does Exoprimal look too stupid for you to enjoy? Is Exoprimal worth your time? Let me know. Thanks for stopping by, Grade A Gamers. I look forward to seeing you down in the comments.